I think the biggest thing was, obviously the health structurally, which has been handled for a little while. It's a question of just being on the court, moving. If he needed to practice, we wanted to have him have a contact practice, at least even if it's short, before he went out and played the game, so he could feel that. And now go out and play and see how you feel then.
How much of a boost is that for this team right now to have him back?
Well, it's great. Anytime you get a player of Rudy's caliber back. Obviously, there's some other challenges that presents that you guys are going to ask me about in a second. But it's something for our team. Having available bodies is a good thing, and how we adjust and use those guys, and who plays together. Those are all things that show themselves to you. We have some information on that, but we're a different team, I think, right now than we were when we had Rudy at the beginning of the year. Some of it's Rudy adjusting to the group, and some of it's the group adjusting to Rudy.
When you look at your record without Rudy, 7-4, do you kind of feel like, hey, we were able to kind of sneak by and even gain some in our record a little bit?
I feel like, as much as anything, the challenge for us, the challenge that I presented to our team is, let's try to improve, and no different. Sometimes, that's we've been really, our players have been very good at embracing that. I don't think there was ever a sense that, hey, let's wait till Rudy gets back and then start that process again. It was more, hey, let's just keep getting better. And Rudy comes back and maybe we can continue to improve that way too. So I think that's the mindset that we've had.
One thing that was noticeable was the communication that Rudy and Derek had. Almost every time Derek came off, Rudy was talking to him. How much do you think that in some way plays out now on the floor?
Well, those guys are growing, and we'll use them together. We've had success using them in tandem, and we've had success using them, both of them, as Dave has been playing 5 exclusively with Rudy out. We'll continue to play him there too. So any time you get that amongst teammates, it's a positive. And it says a lot about the two of them and their commitment to the team, that they don't see themselves as mutually exclusive. I think even if they're not playing together, hopefully they can tag team people too, and that's how we see that, the combination of two really good players.
What we maybe haven't seen behind the scenes, how much work has Rudy put in to kind of get back here so quickly?
He's worked his tail off. I think Rudy's never been a stranger to work and hard work. It's one of the reasons that he's improved the way he has. He approaches his injuries the same way as he's approached his free throws and his catching and all those different things that you've seen him improve.
You guys have faced a stretch of opponents that have injuries. I mean, Millsap, Griffin, and AD just got injured. John Wall's out tonight. Mm-hmm. Rudy's been out for you guys. Is it really unusual?
Rudy and Rodney and Raul and Tabo and Raul and Ricky at certain points. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, is it unusual
just
to
not Rudy is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But is it unusual to see that many star players out at one time?
I'd be curious to know, but it does seem like there's been a rash, and, particularly the fact that they've all happened at the same time. Ours happened earlier, and then we've continued to have guys out. Rodney's still out. It's just it's something teams deal with consistently. It's just a question of degree, and the injuries that have happened, they're not things that are necessarily preventable. All you can do is try to mitigate and get guys back and have guys work and get back to form as quickly as they can. But it does require all those teams, ourselves included, to adjust to new personnel. And sometimes the guys that are out, it impacts your team more. Sometimes there's situations where our bench is deeper and someone can step in the way Fabe has done for us. But it's significant, no question, for all those teams.
Rodney's been out a week. Are you still considering that ankle soreness?
I've done a good job of letting you guys talk to the people that understand injuries. One of the good things about our group is I have just total confidence in what Mike and his staff are doing. So Rodney's, I know that we're doing everything we can, and Rodney's doing everything he can to get back, and hopefully sooner than later.
Quin, what are you most pleased with this last 5-game stretch?
I think that the challenge defensively for us, adjusting our style a little bit, you know, and being able to play defense with some different concepts. Some of them are very consistent. I think our help, our shifts, the way that we're engaging as a group defensively has improved. Some of that, they know they need each other without Rudy back to protect the rim, and we've had rim protection from Fade and Epe, but we've been able to limit how often the ball's getting in there and better. And that was something I think as a staff that we knew we needed to do, to not expose our guys at the rim. Whereas when Rudy's back there, sometimes it's good defense to not to allow the ball in there, but if it does go in there, not to overhelp. And we've had to help each other more. I'd like to see us maintain that activity, continue to force some turnovers with aggressiveness, but also to be disciplined. So that's one thing. I think we've gotten better at not fouling. A lot of times defensive possessions are wasted when you're undisciplined and you foul. And then obviously on offense, the way that we move the ball and attacked collectively. So we want to continue to be that team. I think we are that team. From an identity standpoint, that's what our guys identify with. It's just a question of executing that on the court. Sometimes it's harder than the opposing team doesn't want you to move the ball, and they don't want you to help. And, so it's just a question of our will, to play the way that we need to play in order to win.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
How are you?